Today's podcast is going to be wrestling promotions. I'm trying to get in great detail on this, and it's going to be kind of choppy because I'm on my laptop and trying to look through and trying to find different promotions. And I was trying to go as far back as I can go, trying to find the earliest promotion. And I'm going to try to type in, the genesis of wrestling. Try to go back. It's like 45 minutes, so I can't try to cram in as much as I can in this one podcast. But hopefully, I can get in some information and discuss, the evolution of wrestling, how it's come from literally fist fighting in the arena to basically actual, not stylized, but predetermined wrestling matches. I think in the early days, especially in the circus, it was really fighting. I'm not saying that they're not tough. They're tougher then than now. It doesn't mean anything. It's just that wrestlers now can make money. I'm sure they weren't making much money then. So I'm going to look up early wrestling. Early wrestling promotions. The history of and it's a slew of them. I'm gonna start with America's because America alone has them. We get all active ones, but I'm not trying to so much go. I know WWF still exists and all them, but the ones that don't exist, like CWF Mid Atlantic, Extreme Championship, Family Wrestling, Future of Wrestling, American Wrestling Federation, not gonna pronounce that one, Evolve, Front Row Wrestling, Hardcore Coming, some of these just plain nonsense. Lucha Underground, that was pretty cool. Lucha Underground was pretty cool. Naked Women Screw that, I'm not reading that stupid. Texas Alliance Wrestling, you have Mid South Wrestling, I know that one. I'm surprised WCW is not up here, or CFF, that's up here. I don't know why. Let's see. Jim Crockett Promotions is what I was trying to look up earlier. I'm going to go to Jim Crockett first. And Jim Crockett Promotions, I think they bought out Houston Championship Wrestling. I was going to say what's the name did. But Jim Crockett Promotions was a family-oriented professional wrestling promotion headquartered in the Charlottesville, North Carolina, United States area. Founded in 1931, the promotion emerged as a cornerstone of the National Alliance. By the 1980s, Jim Crockett Promotions, along with the World Wrestling Federation, is one of the two largest promotions in the United States. Jim Crockett family sold its majority of interest in the promotion to Ted Turner in 1986, resulting in the creation of WCW. Yeah. What about the NWA National Alliance? Let's go back. It's 1931. See what they actually let me do that. Okay. Jim Crockett Promotions in 1909 to 1979 was promoted by the Live, including professional wrestling, music, concerts, playing Major League Baseball, hot ice hockey. In 1931, founded by its own professional wrestling promotions. Jim Crockett built JCW as a regional promotion centered around North Carolina and Virginia area. Although businesses were always called Jim Crockett Promotions, it varied in its persona as a brand name for specific television shows, newspapers, radios, ads, even on tickets themselves. Among these brand names were generic standby, Championship Wrestling, All-Star Wrestling, as well as East Coast Wrestling, Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Championships, Mid-Atlantic Championship Sports Worldwide, and all etc. nonsense. I remember watching as a kid, NWA, and Nikita Koloff and Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes. I'm not sure who else is on there. I mean, it kind of is blurry. I mean, it later became WCW. I don't remember when it actually transformed to become WCW, but pretty much it became, and Ric Flair was the Dusty Hill champion for so many years on there, and that was like the flagship show to me. And I like WWF, and WWF was the cartoon, but for the kids and whatnot. And they both are value, and they both had phenomenal wrestlers on there. Some were interchangeable. Um, let's see. I'm going to go to Mid South Wrestling. I went to it before. The Universal Wrestling Federation was in 1986 rebranded for its Bill Watts Mid South Wrestling promotion. Bill Watts' goal was to elevate its promotion for relatively smaller and regional businesses to national level rival World Federation. I don't think they ever was going to be a threat to WWF, because WWF at that point, at least by that time, they probably already had their first WrestleMania, and they're already on the fast track. And I don't think any promotion, maybe WCW is the only one that actually was giving them a run for the money. And they also did, dirty tactics as well to keep other promotions from actually succeeding. I mean, you can go to the podcast of What Happened When, and Tony Schiavone will tell stories about how, WWF threatened, pay-per-view companies to not promote, Starcade or Starcast or Starcade or whatever. So, their versions of the Royal Rumble and other um, pay-per-views they were going to do. So it's not uncommon. I mean, you've heard many stories. I think Jim Ross told a story about how Harley Race was going to come across from, I think it was in Mid-South Wrestling, and shoot Hulk Hogan. I mean, he had a gun that was going to cap him. So there's very bad blood amongst them. The National Wrestling Federation, I don't know what that is. Let's find out. The Origin National Federation, NWF, was a promotion based in Buffalo, New York, owned by promoter Pedro Martinez. It was ran from 1970 to 1974. Motion was reviewed by 86 Robert Raskins promotion and closed in 1994. Well, not too much. Okay. Pedro Martinez is not related to the baseball player, owner of the National Wrestling Players, was operated from 1970 to 1994. The National Wrestling Federation North American Heavyweight Championships later used by New Japan Wrestling as its main title in 81. During the origin versions of the NWF, the popular promotion included Johnny Powers, Ernie Ladd, Walter Von Erich, Chief White Owl, Hans Schmidt, the Mighty Igor, Luis Martinez, Ron Sanders, Dusty Rhodes. I'm not reading all these people's names. I'm just gonna get a few of them that I actually know. I can figure out. Okay, blah blah. Where's contract? I had it. Later, Paulie Dangerously in here. Raskins also hired a young Paul Heyman, who later became Paulie Dangerously, to hand colored commentaries on television. We can talk about that. That's a very New York. It had, Ernie Ladd and, what did I just say? I'm just blind. I can't see these people's names. Oh, I'm way up here. That's why. See, Oliver Von Erich, Ernie Ladd, Johnny Powers, I don't know who that is. Hans Schmidt, Dusty Rhodes. That's what I was trying to remember. I don't know why I couldn't get that name. But I think Paul Heyman did talk about he was there for a minute. He might have been in trouble at one point. That's why he had to go down to that promotion. World Championship Wrestling. Let's see who should I go to next? you know, I'm just gonna be running a lot of stats on here. It's not gonna be so much because some of these promotions I've never seen before. So if I'm reading stats, I know this is boring, but you know, it's interesting to me. Um, World Championship Wrestling. Everyone knows that if you grew up in the '90s, you know World Championship Wrestling. They had 3 weeks. So Tom Pearson actually beat them. Okay. It debuted. The World Championship was founded by the Tycoon Ted Turner in '88. From experience, WCW was one of the top professional promotions in the United States and was a significant competitor to its dominant wrestling federation. At one point, surprisingly, its terms of popularity. WCW was, I'm not going to read that again. Well, WCW bought out Jim Crockett Promotions and that aired its first TBS after initially successful through its established wrestling stars of the 1980s, appointed Eric Bishop executive producer of the televisions in '93. This man was trying to get his television show on the Turner network, and was trying to buy out Jim Crockett, and Jim Crockett in a slick way, bypassed him and basically sold it to Ted Turner, and they're reneging on their deal, and I think he had to pay him $1 million out. So that's what initially became of the first WrestleMania, because Vince McMahon was originally supposed to be on that network, but for some reason, Ted Turner didn't want to sell. Ted Turner, Jim Crockett didn't want to sell to him. He kind of did some little roundabout thing, but I think if Jim Crockett had stood in his lane, he probably was still alive around like most promotions, like Paul Bosch and even like who was it? Other one? What's that dude's name? I just did it. Bill Watts. They need to say they're none of us prepared for global televised promotions like World Wrestling Federation initially became. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna skip around because there's so many up here. Let's see. Look at Lucha Underground, because I don't even know who actually owned it. That was Robert Rodriguez who owned it. Okay, Lucha Underground was an American promotion, series drama, and series owned by and produced by United Arts Media conglomerate. The weekly series aired in English and on Elway Network, previously in Spanish on Humanis. The series featured wrestlers from American Independent Circus, Lucha Libre, AAA Worldwide, one of the biggest wrestling promotions in Mexico. AAA is also owned and a percentage of Lucha Underground. The series premiered its first season on October 29th, 2014. It ran 39 episodes. The second season of Lucha started July 27, 2016. It ran to 26 episodes. Prior to the taping of Lucha Underground's season 2, the show was renewed for a third season, which premiered December 2016. It was also renewed for episodes from the show, which will be available in person on iTunes and I think on Netflix. On February the 1st, 2017, Lucha Underground signed a deal to Netflix, United States, and Canada. The first two seasons of the series became available for streaming network on March 15, 2017. Remained available from November to November 15, 2018, which the time they were pulled from the service. Season 3 and 2 were never aired. Netflix season 4 aired from January 13th to November 7, 2018. That was a phenomenal show, but it cost too much money to make. I'm assuming because it was theatrical series that couldn't sustain itself. I'm going to read, Lucha Underground champion Jake Strong, Lucha Trio champion Dargo, Cobra Moon,